We're not just related by marriage, Paige. We're flesh and blood. Dad is father to both of us. That's the reason for this whole mess. That's the reason why I can't love you.
No, Brian, it's not true. It simply isn't
true. It is true, damn it. Good old Dad, huh? Mr. Hollywood swinger. He met my mother long before yours. I was the happy result.
How long have you known?
I remember the day very well, Paige. 3 years ago.
My 18th birthday?
Yeah. The day I gave you that necklace, Dad gave me the shock of my life.
Well, what happened?
See, he was all too aware that those congratulatory kisses I was giving you for turning 18 were far from platonic. Hell, I'm sure he'd seen signs that we were growing close long before that, and he decided that it was time for old Brian to learn the facts of life. At least as they applied to the Madison family and before things between us went too far.
Why didn't they tell me?
You were just a kid. I suppose he figured that you just had some kind of teenage crush and that as long as I didn't encourage you, you'd forget all about me.
Oh, he was wrong.
I spent a couple of days wandering around the house, wondering what to do.
When we woke up, you'd taken off for the Navy.
I was very confused, Paige, and very angry. Running away seemed like the best solution.
I always wondered why you'd left. Nobody told me.
Well, now you know. I couldn't stay in the same house with you. I was in love with you, too, and for us, love just is not possible.
I know why you're telling me this. You don't want me to feel the way I do, so you're making this all up so that it will be impossible for me to love you.
Don't you think I wish this was some kind of a fable and we could go on living happily ever after?
I always thought that Nola and Harv Wilcox were your parents and Owen and Elizabeth were mine.
You're only half right. Owen and Elizabeth were your folks. Harv just happened to be married to my mother when I was born.
God.
Yeah. There's an interesting way to check the record. Look up a film called Road to Death. It was made the year I was born. My mother was in it. It was also one of Owen Madison's first productions.
Oh, well, that's where they met.
Yeah. They produced that film and me at the same time. The movie flopped. They both tried to forget about it. They didn't do much better with me.
Brian, don't say that.
Of course, they were both shocked at the realization. They were married at the time, too. Happily, I suppose, or at least happy by Hollywood standards. So they decided to let old Harv assume that he was the daddy.
3 years later, I was born.
Remember how it was when we were growing up, how close the two families were?
Daddy must have gotten a real kick out of seeing his children playing together in the sandbox.
A few years later, both marriages soured.
Leaving Nola and Owen free to marry.
Yeah, I assume they were still in love with each other. I'm sure Dad thought he was doing the right thing by making me his stepson.
How noble.
Yeah. They didn't have much foresight, did they, Paige? They forgot that kids grow up. Or maybe they didn't realize just how beautiful you'd become.
And there was my 18th party.
Dad called me to his study that night and set me straight about everything.
I would have run away, too.
That's one of the reasons he didn't tell you. He was afraid of losing his little girl. In fact, he was very happy when I told him I was leaving. He thought my leaving would extinguish the flame. So did I.
Nola was very hurt by your leaving, too. I mean, that's what started her drinking so heavily.
God, I know I hurt Mom very badly. I didn't mean to. Anyway, kiddo, it didn't work. I thought about you. During those months at sea, there isn't really very much to do but think. And I tried, Paige, but I just couldn't get you out of my mind.
You never answered any of my letters. Now I know why.
Even when I got out of the Navy, I made every effort to keep as much distance between us as possible. And then I started reading those terrible articles in the newspaper about all the trouble you were in.
You know me, anything for a little attention.
Paige, I thought there might be something I could do. But more than that, I had to be near you.
Brian, you know how much having you with me meant to me.
Paige, have you been listening to what I've been saying?
I heard you.
Then you know that the bottom line is that we can never allow ourselves to be that close again. Never.
Who is it?
It's me, Paige. I was afraid I might have missed you.
I wouldn't leave without seeing you. What took you so long?
Oh, something came up at the house. I got here so I could.
You've been crying. I don't want any teary-eyed farewells.
Oh, that wasn't the reason.
Well, you're here now. That's all that matters.
I have never been so miserable in my whole life.
Paige, I really hate to see you like this.
I can't tell you how glad I was to slam that front door on that house, and I am never going back there.
Well, what's the problem?
I can't tell you, Toby.
Your folks treat you pretty well. And that brother of yours, he thinks you're all the gold in Fort Knox.
Well, it's a house full of lies. It's the lies they've been telling to me since I was born.
What does that mean?
They keep telling me these lies. They think they're protecting me, but they're only making it worse.
Look, take it easy, huh?
When we moved from Monticello, I thought that all the lies were behind me, but they stayed. And I can't live with them anymore. I am not going back to that house.
You don't have to go back, Paige. You're a big girl now. You can do whatever you want.
I don't know what I want.
How about taking a suggestion from a real friend? Someone who's never, ever lied to you.
Toby, you're the only one who's never lied to me.
Don't go back. Come with me.
You know what you're saying?
We can go someplace fresh, start new. You've got nothing to go back to, and there's nothing keeping me here. We spent a lot of time together, Paige, and I want to spend a whole lot more time. I want to make up for all those months that I missed you so bad.
I don't know, Toby.
Two can run away as cheap as one, and be a lot more fun running away together. What do you say?
Yeah. Oh, take me with you.